We can hear you. How are you,
Hey Lewis,
Sheamus?
what's going on?
Not too bad, not too bad. How have you been on this? What is it? Tuesday morning
Oh,
now.
I'm grand. I'm grand. Yeah, not too bad. It wasn't too early, which is good. 10 a.m. job is all right. So, yeah, I'm good, man. I'm excited.
Or- So today, obviously, we're going to talk Royal Rumble, an event that you've got a big affinity with, which is obviously coming up later this month. We'll also be talking because like you, I'm a man of good taste. I'm also a Liverpool fan,
Oh,
so
good
we'll
man.
talk a little bit about Liverpool
Yeah.
um, and dive into all that. But before we get going, one question I did kind of about the football stuff. One question I did want to ask, obviously, earliest Royal Rumble memories. What are some of your memories of the Rumble? I mean, growing up watching it as a kid, I'm sure, like all of us other UK fans, was it a case of either sneaking around from parents watching it that night, or taping it and having to watch it the next day after school? Um, or what are some of your memories of the Rumble as a kid watching?
Yeah, the Rumble, I just spoke to someone in the last interview about that. I remember like my dad would let me watch the Rumble because it was on at 1 o'clock in the morning at school the next day. And I just snuck down anyway and watched it. Keep me one ear on the TV and one ear on the door or on the stairs in case he came down and heard me. So I had the volume turned down a lot. But I also had the old VHS player, so I recorded it as well. But I think the earliest memory would have been the '89 Royal Rumble, the one that had the Warrior and Hogan face off for the first time, which was a setup to WrestleMania 6. So that was, to me, that was incredible. Like huge. I was like huge fan of the. It was just such an exciting pay-per-view. Um, and yeah, it was definitely one of my favorite as a
So
fan to watch.
I was gonna say, on the note of obviously having to sneak around and watch the Rumble, were there any times that you audibly had to stop yourself almost from reacting to something because you didn't want to wake someone up? Are there any memories of you remembering yourself almost having to subdue your reaction to make sure you didn't get in any trouble?
No, I was on mute the whole time because my dad wouldn't have been happy, and I was just trying to make sure I stayed under the radar. But no, like yeah, I mean, like you get carried away a lot, As I said, the biggest thing was when I was two fan favorites. I was a huge Warrior fan, huge Macho Man fan, and huge Warrior fan.
This is pretty cool.
And
I've never done one before.
seeing them basically go head to head about it was crazy. It was like I don't think anyone had ever seen that before. Two big baby faces, or the two top baby faces going at it one on one in the ring. So I think it was definitely something we hadn't seen before.
And I've always kind of found it interesting to think about how rumbles are kind of put together. So, peeling back the curtain a little bit, are you told? Obviously, you're told exactly when you're going to go out because it's numbers wise. But are you told exactly when you're going to be eliminated, who by, or is that only if there's kind of like a storyline reason for you to be told by? Are you given like a rough time for how long you're going to be in the ring? Kind of how does the planning and I guess, the information from you guys that you're given differ from a usual match?
Well, I'll tell you, we all know our numbers. We all know when we're going out, what number. I'm not going to spoil magic for anybody, mate. You know what I mean? Like it's what we do is entertainment. I don't like taking some of that stuff away or peeling back the curtain. But all I say is that we know what our numbers are. Um, and we know what we got to do in there. You know what I mean? Obviously, I guess in the past, a lot of guys who started early, like Edge and Ziggler and these guys, a lot of them have got great stamina in the ring. So it's kind of built that can help as well where you set up in the card. But yeah, I'm not going to just spoil everything for that. But I will tell you, everybody knows what number they and but they won't find out what number they are pretty much until like about 2 or 3 hours before the show. It's been a couple of them there that have been really, really close
Mm.
on where we're at coming out to the ring, and that itself it can be a little stressful, especially if you're new. Now I'm there about 12 years. To me, it doesn't really bother me at all. But I know for new guys coming out, not finding their number till later time or very close to bell time, that can be quite stressful.
For
But
sure.
and things can change all the time, mate. Things always change. I don't think people realize that. Like things can, like I had a match in day one with it was supposed to be me and Ridge Holland against Cesaro and Ricochet, and you know that changed on the fly. Ricochet got his nose smashed, and then he was turned around and he was gone. It was just me against Ricochet and Cesaro. So things, no matter like how many people try and say or organize stuff, it's things change all the time, even on the fly, even live while it's happening.
Of course, and I mean, one of the best things about Rumbles, I mean, from our point anyway, has always been the surprise entrance. I mean, whether it's someone that we haven't seen in a while, maybe someone returning from injury, maybe someone, I guess, coming back from a hiatus away from the company. Who are some of your favorite Rumble surprise entrants? And I guess if you had the book for a day, who would you like to see maybe come back into the Rumble and be a surprise entrant?
I mean, for me, if the opportunity was there, I'd love Austin and The Rock to come back for the Rumble.
I'm sure you would.
That would be fantastic. I don't think anyone would see that. I remember for years, Wade Barrett was constantly saying that Papa Shango was coming back to the Rumble, and it was a joke. And then 1 year he actually did come. He was told to stop tweeting it because 1 year Papa Shango actually did come back to the Rumble, but he was just doing it as a joke every year. And then of course we walked into the meeting and there was Papa Shango sitting down. So he was as surprised as anybody. But yeah, I mean, let's just go for the top, mate. You know what I mean? I'd love to see Rock and Austin. Imagine they came out for the Rumble. That would be awesome.
I mean, even better if you eliminate them. I guess that would also be on the agenda.
I mean, of course, that'd be awesome too. You know what I mean? But that's the great thing about it. Like I know this year they've announced a lot of contestants for the women's Royal Rumble. I like it. I like the fact that they just show up. I don't. I'm not a huge fan of telling people who's going to be in there. I think the men's one is definitely a bit more secretive because they've announced 10 people so far who are on the active roster. But on the women's side, like there's a lot of girls coming back, but just shows how much they miss the product and miss being in the ring.
Yeah, and I mean it's awesome to see. But one thing that obviously this Rumble being a little bit special, it's not only 10 years since you won the Rumble in 2012, but it's also in the same venue in St. Louis, Missouri. So talk us through the day of obviously you winning the Rumble and what it's going to be like going back to the same venue, obviously 12 years on, knowing what you know now about your career.
Yeah, that's weird, man. I didn't even realize that, and because time just keeps in our business, time just keeps moving so fast. But I believe it's 10 years to the day, the actual day as well. I think it's January 29th.
Yeah,
which was when I think was it January 29th, 10 years ago as well. And I could be wrong on that, but yeah, it's the same venue, and it's exactly 10 years to the day that I won the Royal Rumble in 2012. So. Listen, it's it's incredible pay-per-view, mate. It's fast paced. You think you have a lot of time, but you don't because people keep running in on you. It just flies by. It's the time just seems to not have any. It doesn't seem to really exist in there. But for that, going into that and winning it, and then especially eliminating Jericho at the end, and then going on to face Bryan in that 18-second match. I mean. It was definitely a huge, huge point in my career at that stage. Like, if you look at the first couple of years of my career, I pretty much won everything that was set in my path. And even now, I feel like I'm working harder than I did then, like way harder. You know what I mean? And pushing myself even harder. But it just, you just never know what's around the corner. And this is 10 years later, so everyone in there has a chance. Everyone in there has an opportunity. I'll be looking for the lads who broke my nose anyway last time. Humberto's in there, he'll be getting his bleeding nose smashed. But with Ridge in there with me too as well, there's no doubt that the Irish and English fella can just start walloping people and throwing them out over the top. Especially Ridge, man. I was so surprised when I saw like how strong Ridge is, how quick he is. He's got that explosive speed and strength from his rugby days. So he's going to be a huge asset to me as well. And who knows, man? I know he's going to have a great career and a bright career. And that's why I've taken him under my wing to fast track that.
Yeah, and you were right. It was the exact same day. But before we wrap up this interview, Sheamus, which has been tremendous, thank you very much for joining us.
It's the first one of these I've ever done, so I'm just getting used to it.
It's the first one of these we've ever done as well. But because we knew you were a Liverpool fan and obviously a WWE superstar, we thought you'd be perfect. So on that note, I wanted to ask you two very quick questions about Liverpool. Firstly, let's say one WWE superstar had to be transitioned into the Liverpool team, and one Liverpool player had to be transitioned into WWE. Who would you like to see?
I definitely put Cesaro in goal. I think Cesaro's got those cat like reflexes. He's also strong as well. He's got a great presence. So as for goalkeepers wise, will be superstar. I'd stick uh, I'd stick Cesaro in goal. And for a Liverpool player to go into WWE, I have to say I've said a couple of times Van Dijk because
Yeah.
he's got that towering presence. You know what I mean? He's tall, he's fast. And as footballers go, he's pretty big. If we had the other guy, I'd say who's not a Liverpool player, but Traore from Wolves, that guy is jacked out of his mind. That guy could easily fit in as well. So as a non-Liverpool player, I'd say Traore. As a Liverpool player, I'd say Van Dijk.
Big Virgin. Before we let you go, Sheamus, obviously Liverpool got a very big game later on this week against Arsenal in the Carabao Cup. Hopefully, fingers crossed, it goes ahead. But as Liverpool's, and I'm going to proclaim you this, Liverpool's WWE spokesperson, can you cut a promo on Arsenal ahead of the big Carabao Cup second leg semi-final at the Emirates on Thursday?
You know what, mate? I don't have any coffee in me. Promo wise, if it was a bigger team in Arsenal, I probably would. But because it's Arsenal, I don't think a big promo is needed. I just think they need to go out there and not do what they did in the last game and just fluff a load of chances or not create them. You just need to get stuck in from the beginning and just tear them apart. I don't think the Arsenal are in the same league as Liverpool. I think Arsenal have a great side that are, a young side, and Arteta's done a great job with them, building them up, building them from the ground up. But still, there's just no comparison between Liverpool and Arsenal right now. And also on top of this as well, mate, I'll be honest with you, I don't know how this is going to go over, but I couldn't care less about the Carbao Cup. I mean, honestly, couldn't, mate. If it was like if you put it in a situation where like what cups are important, if I had a leak in my roof, the Caribou Cup would be there basically catching all the water. So that's really how I feel about the Caribou Cup. I think it's absolute. I just think it's a waste of bleeding time. I think it was great when English teams went in Europe and they were banned. It was a great little cup to win for like other sides. But I just firmly believe like Liverpool are way above that cup. And I think, for sorry, like all I care about is the league, the Champions League, and of course, for sentimental reasons, I think the FA Cup really is the only cup that should exist. So, there you go. If Arsenal win, I won't be crying about it. You know what I mean? I just don't think it's important. It's almost as bad as the Zenith Datas Cup. Then the Zenith Datas Cup, that was around in '91, I think '92. That was created by Sky back in the day, just to create some other competition for other teams. But yeah, I don't know. I thought man's what?
I said I don't blame you. It's a little bit of a dud tournament, should we call it?
I just don't rate it, mate. I don't think any Premier League. I think it should be just for everyone below the Premier League to be involved in that tournament. You know what I mean? And whoever wins, maybe they get like, I don't know, a European place or something, or they get like a promotion out of it. But for me, I just think it's a waste of bleeding time.
I don't disagree with you. Sheamus, thank you very much for joining us today. It's an absolute pleasure.
You're welcome, brother. I appreciate it, mate. I appreciate your time. I appreciate doing this. I've put my teeth on this now, so who knows where I'll go from there.
Awesome. Thank you very much. And again, guys, you can check out WWE's Royal Rumble on January 29th on Peacock in the US and on loads of other international markets on the WWE Network, where I'm sure Sheamus will be winning the whole damn thing and going on to WrestleMania. Guys, thank you very much for joining us all. Again, thank you. Very, very, very big thank you to Sheamus for that. If you guys want to check out a recording of this, it'll be going up onto the Give Me Sport Twitter page, which you guys all go ahead and follow there. That's some great place to get WWE news. And even if you're beyond, if you want other stuff as well, they've got football news. They got everything you could want. And as well, the Give Me Sport WWE YouTube channel, there'll be a recording of this going up there as well, where you can hear exactly what Sheamus had to say about all things Royal Rumble, Liverpool, and everything else if you didn't manage to catch the whole thing. But guys, thank you very much. We're going to end this one now. And hopefully, I think this went great. So hopefully we'll see you again in the not too distant future with another top WWE star. Oh, Sheamus is asked to go back on the mic. Hang on. Sheamus is asked to go back on the mic. I've invited him. Let's see if
Lewis.
I think he's got might have something to say.
Lewis.
Sheamus is
Go
on.
Also Lewis. So again, you know what I mean? Like it's a great time, especially WWE for the UK as well. As I said, like I still believe Ridge Holland's going to be a huge player in this game. So for anyone who's just new to WWE or anyone who's watching, make sure you get behind your own fella, especially from the UK. You know what I mean? I know you got that big giant bleeding Moni Haggis, Drew McIntyre, but we have a real fella now from the UK. You know what I mean? In there, Ridge Holland. So any chance you can get behind him and follow him and you know what I mean? Because like I feel like when I'm done and dusted, Ridge will be making serious waves in the WWE. That's the plan. So it's definitely someone for the English to root for. You know.
We do love an English guy to root for, and I know you're obviously Irish. Drew is Scottish, but having that English guy, Ridge Holland, hopefully, first English WWE champion, not too long away.
Has all the tools, lads. Has all the tools. So. Anyway, I'll see you guys at the.
Thank you very much.
See you at the Rumble.
See you hopefully at the Rumble.
Cheers, brother. Bye.
Cheers.